you wanna go. Makes you wanna go. Na 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 na.
Telescope Clan, how's everyone doing? It's Mariposa Maát. I'd like to welcome you for all of my subscribers and all of the people who might be new here. Please consider subscribing. I'm very thankful to have you all. Today I just really wanted to touch on how when you're going through serious challenges, when you're having a hard time in life, one of the keys to getting through it is to be thankful. And I know it might sound super counterintuitive, right? Because when you're going through a hard time, what feels natural is to be sad and to, focus on the negative things. But I'm just speaking from experience because I have been through very serious traumas in my life that really could have ended me. You know what I mean? When you really feel like things have not gone according to your plan, that you've been betrayed, that things that are very precious to you have been stolen or taken away, where people have come against you when it's unfair, unwarranted, and basically during times when we consider them to be dark nights of the soul, when we really consider ourselves to have taken a serious L, I've been through these times, all of those. And I just wanted to give some encouragement because, if you can watch this, then you're blessed. You're blessed because you have eyes, you have technology in order to see this. You have either a phone or a computer, right? You have health enough to be able to watch this. And you just have to start with the basics. You have to start with the basics because as long as you can continue to get through your day, there's hope. And basically, that's where you have to start with. It's okay to start with the beginning. I remember in my lowest moments, doing meditations where I just focused on being in nature. It really helped me. And actually being in nature. But when I wasn't in nature, closing my eyes and seeing myself focus on the color green of trees. Because, green is a healing color. It's the color of our heart chakra. And to focus on green is very healing in and of itself. Like God created nature to be mostly green for a reason. It's because it has a very calming and healing effect on our spirit. So things that you can tap into, nature, I would definitely look to spend as much quiet time in nature as possible. Something that I really love is sound therapy that you can easily find on YouTube. There are different frequencies that can help you with different issues. There is the heart chakra frequency, but there's also stuff like, rain and ocean sounds and stuff like that. The healing bowls are really good. I love the healing Indian flutes, meaning Native American, but I'm sure in India they have great flutes too. Asia and China, they have some really beautiful healing music, and different ones that correspond to different elements. Like I've listened to all of those things. Music of any sort that makes you feel good is healing. And sometimes, if you're angry, you might need to listen to music that will help you to get out those kinds of emotions, like with drums, or music that expresses the way you feel. Hi, baby. Hola, buenas tardes.
Always looking for food.
Oh, yes, of course. So yeah, music, the arts overall, but music is very healing, and dancing is very healing. To dance to music, like find your favorite music. If you need to laugh, you can look for a comedy that's heartwarming. Art therapy is something that actually healed me a lot. When I started really going through serious trauma, I became an artist, where I actually ended up selling some of my art. But yeah, just focusing on colors and focusing on yourself and your own process. Journaling is very good, because you know, rather than, it's good to talk to people. If you have people that love you, then that's a blessing. That's something definitely to be thankful for. You know, just make sure that you're not talking to people that you don't trust and that don't put you first, because sometimes the people around you are the problem. You understand? So if having someone to talk to is a challenge, journaling is really good. Even if you have someone to talk to, journaling is very good to process your own personal thoughts. Keeping a journal and journaling every night or every day, like having a certain place and time where you do that. Vision boards are very healthy. And not just vision boards, but just images that you put around you overall. If you can't get out and get around, you know, nature, it's good to have pictures of nature, or to have a fountain around you. Water's always good. Going to the water, going to the beach, going to the river, going to the lake, are all very healing activities. But yes, art. Surrounding yourself with things that make you happy, so you can put yourself mentally in a different place and know that you can get to that place. Maybe not in that moment, maybe not that month, but focusing on positive things that uplift you. You know, in 2012, I was going through a very challenging time, as my ex had taken my children in court. That was just like the beginning of some very serious traumas for me. And I had put a photo of a place in Mexico that I saw online, in the forest, a pyramid in the forest that I had seen, an ancient ruin, and I focused on it a lot. I told myself I would go there one day, you know, and it ended up where, I'm trying to see, how many years later did I go? I actually went to that place 7 years later, and I didn't even know that I was going to that particular place. I knew I was going somewhere around it, but I actually landed in that place not in 7 years, but in 8 years. I actually was in that location and realized that I had made it to that place. And since that time, I've made it to a lot of places that I focused on. You know, I've used those techniques to attract, you know, a beautiful experience for myself. I've now traveled to a lot of places that I've envisioned, that I put on vision boards when I had nothing and no way of knowing how I would get there. So that is something that I would definitely encourage you to look at. The whole point is that God is in control of everything, and whatever happens to you, it's really important to know that it was meant to happen, even though you didn't expect it to happen, even though it really feels terrible. It was meant to happen. And then once you're at peace with that, because you can't fight with reality, right? It is what it is. Be thankful that you still have breath and life and another day to live, and that has a lot of possibilities, that holds a lot of possibilities for you. If you can flip the experience around, where you're asking yourself, what good can come from this? You know the terrible things that have happened, but what is very good about it, right? The experience. That might be a challenge at first, but I'll give you an example. My personal example is, okay, because I was completely floored by losing my children, and also, it ended up being a fight to even spend time with my children at all. Extremely depressing, extremely traumatizing for me. Something that I never envisioned, because I had been a homeschool mother before homeschooling was popular, and I fought to do that because I was one of those mothers that really wanted to make motherhood my vocation, like what I focused on in life. Even though I did other things for money and stuff like that, but my children were number one. That's what I wanted to focus on. So when that was taken away from me against my will, I saw a Tony Robbins video, and he had said that. That's where I got that from, is, when you ask yourself, what is wonderful about this? What is good about this, right? And I came up with the idea that I had more free time to myself, right? Because while I had been focused on my 3 children, homeschooling and all that kind of stuff, I didn't really have the time to focus on myself and take care of myself, right? So what was wonderful about it is that I could do that. And so I started to really put energy into that. I started to uplift myself and focus on my needs and wants, while I also, had the flip side of that. It wasn't what I wished, but it was powerfully working with what was. And that was basically how I kept putting one foot forward and making my way to where I am now, healthy and well-adjusted and balanced in who I am. I was able to focus on learning more about holistic health. I worked in holistic health for many years. I became a sweat lodge facilitator. I worked with crystals, like in a crystal store, and then also used that. Became a life coach and traveled. You know what I mean? So these are all things that have been very incredible in my life, and things that I'm thankful for. And that is the thing, is no matter what is taken away from you, you can powerfully look at what can take its place. You can pour love into yourself and be thankful that you are still here, and that, there's so much variation in life for you to explore and to submerge yourself in. Be thankful for the internet, that anything you're interested in, you can learn about somehow. You can, submerge yourself in things that you had never had the opportunity. If your body is able, you can take a walk and, have a walking meditation every day. You can, stretch or exercise or whatever. And if your body is not able, you can travel in your mind, and like I said, use the internet. There are things that you can do. If you can watch this, then there are things you can do to continue to uplift yourself. And it's not by coincidence that you even found this video, right? Like, God will speak to you through so many different ways if you allow yourself to be receptive to the love that's around you still, because you are loved, even if life might feel like you're not. In the middle of your dark night of the soul, of an ego death, it's very difficult. So I just want to encourage you and give my testimony, because I still have a lot of things that were disappointing in my life, a lot of things that were very painful in my life. But the way you find the balance is to reach for the highest vibration at all times. And affirmations will also help too. You can find them on YouTube as well. I like to listen to affirmations while I'm sleeping. There are positive, so it feeds you positive thoughts while you're sleeping to keep you uplifted. If it's hard for you to find those positive thoughts yourself, you can use the time when you're sleeping to feed yourself with positivity. That's very good. The sunlight is very good. There's just so much in life that's beautiful, and you just have to keep reaching for it until it becomes more natural. At first it might be a challenge, or first it will be a challenge if you're going through trauma, but keep the faith, and know that everything is in the divine plan. And our goal is to be in line with the divine plan, accept the divine plan, and work with it as powerfully as we can as human beings, as spiritual beings, having a human experience. You have to dip into your spiritual side and allow that ego to die so that you can grow and be a stronger person for yourself and for others around you who will be able to hear your testimony in the future. Okay? So I encourage you. And as I always end my videos, continue to embody your sacred transformation. That's what it means, is that, the only thing in life that's constant is change. And so we want to make sure that we're continuing to transform, to be as powerful, and to be as connected to divine as possible. And so I wish that for you also. Okay, so until next time, Kaleidoscope Clan, this is Mariposa Maát.
Makes you wanna go.